Legs and ass for Saida. Here we go. Start with warm up, wipers. Get your knee all the way to the floor. Open the back leg. Open it all the way back. Yeah, rock from the inside edge to the outside edge of the feet. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Again, all the way down, all the way back. Get that all the way back. Open that hip up. Try to keep the non-moving leg vertical, upright. You can increase the intensity a little bit by turning it in. Same thing here, full range of motion, all the way in, all the way out. You feel this in your knee, it's no good. Move your leg from your hip. Imagine the articulation of the joint right in your hip while you're doing this. Okay, with this one, pull it to the outside of your shoulder. It's kind of like an arcing position. It's a rocking as well. You can't see, but my butt's coming off the ground. I'm exhaling as I pull it in. Here we go with frog. Go knees as wide as you can, and then rock forward and backwards. You can rock your hips forward and backwards. You can also articulate your lower back, putting an arch and flexing, extending the lumbar spine. You can have your feet behind your knees. You can have your feet on the inside. You can have feet on the outside for that one also. So rocking back and forth in the lunge. Optional to come up onto the back of your foot, lifting the back knee off the floor. And we can make a little sequence. Sit back, stretch, up, look back, bend back, down, all the way down if you can. It's a good stretch for the back leg when you have lift the knee off the floor on the top of your foot. Seven-way hip. Every way the hip can move, starting with abduction. Here, line up your whole body like between two panes of glass. You got your feet, knees, hips, shoulders all in a line, not rocking backwards and forwards. Watch the hip stays in line, that the top of the hip is above the bottom hip. Toes point slightly down. Shoulders and head in line with the hip. It's often I see people jutting their head forward. Okay, about 10 times or so. Then flexing the hip. Watch your upper body doesn't swing backwards and forwards. The hip can move independently of the rest of the body. So go for that. See here, I just noticed my elbow was not underneath my shoulder. It's out of alignment. When I have everything in a line, now we're going for hip extension. Same thing here. about the upper body and the head. Keep it in a line. You can use the top arm in front of you to support. Just go back as far as you can. You don't need to strain. Adduction of the lower leg here now. Imagining the inside of the hip. You're lifting that bottom leg up with the focus and awareness in the hip joint. Okay, rotations. 45 degrees, toes pointing as far up and as far down as you can. Maintaining that alignment of the feet, knees, hips, shoulders, and head. 2 panes of glass. Kicks forwards and backwards. Same thing, flexion extension with the knee bent this time. Last time we did it with the leg straight. Forward to your elbow, back as far as you can. Synchronizing the breath with the movement, however that works for you. Now we're going to do the clam. You can have your knees in line with the hips, like this, or you can have the feet in line with the hips. Those are both valid. Yeah. Hip hinge and squat. Fundamental basic movements versus hip hinge. Hip hinge, the knees don't move in front of the toes. The hip hinges, butt squeezes, thrust the hips forward. This is like a kettlebell swing. Feel it in your ass. The lower leg doesn't really move in the hip hinge. Now it's a squat. Squat goes lower. Track your knees over your toes. The toes and the knees are in the same plane. Here you can see my knee goes ahead of my toes a little bit. That's fine. It's normal. Go as low as you want. Same thing here, initiated by the ass. Side under. This is a really fun one. Okay, it starts with the squat. You shift the weight to the outside leg. All the weight's in the outside leg. No weight on the inside. Then transfer all the weight. So the trailing leg has no weight in it. Floats together. Squat down as low as you can. It's an under. You can actually go under something, that's even better. Okay, you're not pushing off with the back leg. The leg that's trailing isn't pushing. Front under, same thing. Here, all the weight's in the front leg. I'm not pushing off with the back. It floats up. All the weight now is going to be in the back leg. And then forward, transfer the weight. 100% in the front, floats forward. This is a front under. If you can go under something, that's even better. Really get low down. Toes pointing forward all the time. Okay, hip bridges. This is really good for building your butt up here. Squeeze the butt. Notice if you're doing a lot of hamstring, that's fine. You want to get the butt first. So the firing pattern is butt, then hamstring. One-legged, if you want, it's going to be even more. Don't swing that top leg. Get the action from your ass. Here I have the leg out to the side, adds complexity. Okay, this is what you want to watch out for. You don't want that hip dumping to the side. It's not okay. Right? You want to have it flat. So it's parallel to the floor. This is called hip switch bridge. You can have your hands down by your hips, helps. Get some hang time at the top. Whoop. Floating, land softly. So if you can make no noise on the landing, that's even better. Okay, getting ready for the next one. We'll just do a couple of like plow poses. Leg overs is what I call this move, leg over. Do a couple right to the back and then to the side. Knees to the side of the head. Both sides. As we're getting ready for what's coming up next here. Just greasing the groove. We're gonna come up. We're gonna be doing some to the squat coming up next. So quick switch bridge to nearly a back roll, knees by the head, and then coming up. Squat, stand up, squat down, roll back, hip switch bridge, roll back, squat. Here I'm attempting pistol squat. It's not perfect, whatever. Try your best, it's fun. Breathing helps a lot. So exhaling as you come up. Exhaling as you go down as well. There's an inhale at the top. This is a fun little sequence then. So you got your hip switch bridge, nearly a back roll, coming up to a squat. All built from the hip bridge thruster. Take your time. You might need to work up to this. All right, find a bench or a chair. This is going to add a little more intensity to the hip thrusting. Remember, like I said, it starts in the ass. Really feel it. Squeeze your butt first and then move your hips. You can do this one-legged as well. Adds complexity. Make sure that your hips are parallel to the floor. You're not dumping onto one side when you do this one-legged. Very fun lateral move. The skater starts with the curtsy move. So we're just tapping, stepping back, and tap, toe and knees track in the same line. Your knees going over the toes. So whatever point, the direction your toes are pointing, that's where the knees go. You don't have it knees going to the side, dumping to the side. It's going to be a problem. Yeah, so just curtsy, down. Next level is the full skater, so the back toe doesn't touch. You're just floating back and forth. Another basic fundamental move, the lunge. Back lunge here. Notice how my knees bent. They're like at 90, 90, 90 front, 90 back. That's good. You can do some switching. Use your ass in the back foot, the trailing leg, to come up out of the lunge. Squeeze your butt. Try to take it out of the front leg quad. Some mid-air switches if you like. That's always a crowd pleaser. Getting up and down off the floor. Okay, we're going to start. This is a matador. We're just changing the orientation of the legs to like I call this like the box position or mermaid. Yeah, mermaid. So rocking up onto the side of our leg, the thigh, rocking from the butt up and lunge all the way down, rocking up, look on the leg, over the ankle, over the shin. Okay, wag the tail. And then down. Take the weight out of your knee that's on the floor, putting more weight into the front foot. Back lunge, wag the tail, roll down. There you go, on the floor. You get up and down off the floor, not using your hands. You don't have to bend your torso. This is a good way to get up and down. Here you can see it from another view. Squat jumps, another good ass blaster. Cardio. Roll across the foot. It's from the foot that this happens. We're getting the ankle ready here. This is called closed chain joint mobility for the ankle. A lot of weight in the ankle all the time, the foot. Knees tracking in the direction of the toes. Squeeze your ass to keep your knees out. You never want to have your knees come in. It's a problem. It's going to cause some pain. Here, you get ready. You can hover, pulse, different levels of the squat. Make sure that you're comfortable in all areas of the squat. So when you jump, you're going to be in crossing all those places. Yeah, so go for 8 or something, or do 5 sets, 4, 5 sets of 8, something like that. Okay, so plank. You don't want to have this. Broken back, no. Shoulders pushed out. Okay, so that's one plank. Second plank, side plank. Look at that. Wrist underneath the shoulder. Feet, knees, hips all in one line, like in 2 planes of glass. Watch that the hips don't rotate back. Shoulder is extended. It's not, you're not collapsing in the shoulder there. All right, reverse plank. Hips up. Here my fingers are pointing back. You can have your fingers pointing forward.